Welcome to Guzzlr.
Hello and welcome to the Guzzlr podcast. Today we're recapping our last 12 episodes, including all the extras, to see what was missing and basically just how we've all been. I'll start off.
Not good.
How have we been, Declan?
When was 12 episodes ago?
It
A
was
long time, because we had a little bit of a break, so...
a long time ago. It was...
Long time.
To be fair, we only done a couple and then you moved away and then we've been online, to be fair.
It was mid-October.
Wow. That long ago.
Yeah. Long time.
The thing that
shit,
was
then.
really
Very
different
shit.
From the thing that's really different from most of these is that we're used to film about 3 or 4 at a time. We've only filmed 3 or 4 at a time since the last recap video, and most of them have been online, and we always film them about 3 days or 4. So that's the main difference.
Guzzlr podcast.
The first video then that we done after our recap was our Brewdog beer, which came in a little bottle with the
Strength in numbers.
Strength in numbers. Do either of you remember the percentage of the beer?
Yeah, 57.8.
57.8.
That was the other one.
No, 57.8.
Was that what was in the little...
I named the video, and edited it. So
that was
it's not surprising,
disgusting.
Really. Yeah.
That was lovely. I really liked Strength in Numbers.
I
really
hated it. Worst thing I've ever had.
I was in the middle.
I've had some bad things in my mouth, right? But that was up the top.
It tastes like whiskey in my eyes.
You didn't try the other one, mate. That was way worse.
No, that was much better. We'll get onto that after. So that was Niall and Nath in that one. Niall brought the beer.
Yeah, that's what this is. He's like financial officer or something.
Yeah,
Isn't it? That's his
financial
title.
man.
By that we mean
Mr.
he buys
Finance.
us stuff. He's literally bought his way into this podcast.
It sounds like bribery, doesn't it? It does sound like
It is
bribery.
fucking bribery.
It's Tory behaviour.
Me and you are little sluts. We're like, oh, you give us a nice beer. You can come on, mate. Yeah.
Turns up with a pack of 12 bottles. Like. And then it was Nath's last one. Nath hasn't been in any more since, which is weird.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, but to be
He's a real big
fair,
part of it.
Nath ain't been in ages,
you
mate.
need
He hasn't been
a visual for Nath because
Because he went to where did he go?
Uganda or something, South Africa.
Senegal.
That's him.
Senegal. So you mean Mason hasn't been in it for ages?
Mason hasn't been in it for a long while. Yeah,
Mason
yeah.
hasn't been in it for
Yeah,
a
none
while.
of his family have been in it at all.
I don't
so-
think we'll
Let's
have
get
that.
his mum
We'll have
on.
Mason back. They do look similar.
What, his mum and...
That's
It is
because they're
crazy.
related.
Yeah. No, his mum and him look so similar.
Right, and then our next episode was our conspiracy episode. This was your episode, Declan. This was the last. This was one of the last ones that you was in, like live in the studio. Did anyone remember what it's called?
Yeah, mate.
Studio.
Pyramids, chemtrails, and the gateway to hell.
That's it. Are you reading it? That's what you like reading off your screen. Yes, good.
I wrote some notes
yeah,
about this one.
Yeah, go on.
Because I rewatched it yesterday. I only rewatched 2.
Okay.
And after that, I'm just winging it. Straight winging it.
Alright.
Now, in my head, Conspiracies was a really good episode.
Right.
That's why we were doing a sequel.
Yes.
Now, watching it back, it's not really about conspiracies. We get to about 27 minutes, and then Dex starts talking about Hitler and Boris, and we don't talk about conspiracies after that. Other than me, the only conspiracy we mention after the halfway point is I say, "Is the Queen a lizard?" That is it.
I don't feel like we discussed that one massively.
Oh, we discussed it loads, but just
did
about
we?
them being nonsense, not the lizard part.
Oh, okay, well.
We discussed the royal family for a long time, but nothing to do with the lizard thing.
Did you know this is a conspiracy that I heard about ages ago? But they've made a Netflix documentary about it now, about the Cecil Hotel.
The murder
right.
hotel thing.
Yeah.
I'm angry about this.
Go on.
I'm not. I'm angry. I'm fuming. Why not? Let's just pick a stance and go with it. So there's this. Oh God.
Calm down, man. Get your words out.
I'm just so annoyed. It's not a very big case.
No.
Not a lot really happens.
No.
It's very much still a mystery. There's like a video of this girl in a lift, if you haven't seen it. She's acting a bit weird, and then she's found dead in the water cooler thing, right, at the top of the hotel.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Have you seen the documentary?
No. It's like 6 episodes, though, isn't it?
It's like, the first episode's just about the hotel.
Right.
Don't even mention the mystery. They just talk about the hotel for a bit. And then they just tell you the same information you knew anyway, but they interview loads of people about their lives. You learn so much about the hotel and the workers in the hotel. So much, mate. More than I've ever wanted to know in my entire life. Nothing about the mystery. Honestly, if this is to the audience now. That not that you're there. If you don't know anything about the Cecil Hotel mystery, just watch a 5-minute YouTube clip. Don't watch the Netflix thing. It's dog.
Beep.
Well, that is
It's like, have you seen the Madeleine McCann one
no,
on Netflix?
no.
It's like that.
But yeah, because I knew it was like that. And
The first episode of the Madeleine McCann one, they just talk about Portugal.
Yeah, I'd heard that, and I'd read so much stuff about Madame McCann anyway. I thought I'm not going to get any. I don't think I'm going to get anything out of this, so I didn't watch
It's
it.
so like just tedious.
One documentary you want to watch if you really want to learn something, because I doubt you'll know anything about this person. Tiger King, right?
Shut up, man.
You learn a lot of stuff, and it's all absolutely balmy. They could do about 10 episodes on that.
They said they might do. Did you see the season 2 teaser
How though?
thing?
How?
He comes back to life.
Happened. It will. That will just be about, you know how he thought he was going to get like requited or whatever by Trump,
Yeah.
and he had the car outside because he thought that he was going to get let
yeah.
out. That's it.
Yeah, it'll be the whole
You
6
just
episodes.
you watch the car outside the prison for like 12 hours.
Because
Is he gonna come? I know he's not, but is he?
like in genuine, I don't want to talk about this. Obviously, nor do you two, but like in the Madame McCann stuff, that when it like it used to talk about Portugal for a while. In the Tiger King one, like each episode is like a completely different story. Like it's absolutely balmy. End of that now. Right. Anyway, growing up.
Hang on.
Okay, go on. If you got more, go on.
I might
go
have
ahead.
more notes.
Go on.
No, I ain't. Actually, I've written down that Deck mentions leaving do, and how it's going to be a massive night.
Yeah.
And I just feel like everyone needs to know
Oh
that Deck
no.
did go home at about 7.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
We went out just after drinking Strength in Numbers. We went to the pub. I think we ordered some food. You ate the food. You almost fell asleep. Then you went home.
Yeah.
He did drink a whole bottle of wine, to be fair, when we
He
were
did.
recording.
He did. Yeah.
I'm standing up for you.
That was a
Declan.
weird night. I'm not gonna lie.
I just love watching
Was
it
it
back,
night,
and
or
you're
was it
like,
sort of
"It's
like
my
late
leaving
afternoon?"
do."
The thing was, I've never felt like that before. I actually just wanted to pass out. I wasn't drunk. I didn't feel it. Nothing. But I wanted to sleep.
Something that I will mention, Deck, is that when we got to the next pub and we met with some of the girls, and they mentioned, "Where's Declan?" And we said, oh, he's gone home. And they went, no, where is Declan? And they went, no, he's gone home. And they're like, right. And then about 10 minutes later, they went, no, but seriously, where is Declan? Like, I told you, he went home. And they thought we were just like pranking him.
Well, to be fair, if you're invited to Deck's leaving do, and you turn up and he's not there, you probably do think it's a prank, right?
Yeah, true, yeah, good point. Well, our next one then was Growing Up. And Growing Up was...
Sports Day and Crazy Frog.
Yeah. This was it got quite a lot of views, this episode.
A lot of views. I've written in my notes. Lots of views.
Is that where Lou was trying to sabotage people by putting stones on the floor?
The Sports Day. It really annoys me that clip on YouTube has like no views, because it's literally called "Louis fails to sabotage a primary school sports day."
Yeah.
And it's just such a crazy. Yeah. How can you see that and not be like, I'm not interested in that, mate? It's only a minute and a half.
However, I think I did successfully sabotage my own sports day.
Because it makes it sound like you've sabotaged it now.
Yeah, as an adult,
like
yeah.
Snuck in and you're
I've just
like...
gone into a primary school.
The
I've
worst
lit
part is,
fireworks on the pitch.
I applied for a job the other day, and they're part of a trust, and one of their primary schools is Park Lane.
Oh.
And I was just staring at it for ages, like, how have I heard of that school? I know that name. And then I was like, oh, Stones on the Track. It makes sense.
Yeah, great. So I wrote down a few more things. I'd like to do another Growing Up one, actually. But I wrote down a few things which I didn't mention in it, and I thought recently. Do you remember when you was growing up, teletext?
That is what the recap video is meant to be.
That is exactly right, yeah.
Don't have that for anything else, so draw this bit out.
Yeah, do any of you remember teletext?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. What's
teletext?
So basically, when you used to have like the old 5 channels, and you used to like press a button, I don't know what button it was, but you used to press a button, and you used to go to like all the pixelated writing and words and stuff like that. And it used to be like, you used to just flick through, and it used to be like the weather, news in your area, competitions.
It's
and
always
get through to like the holidays.
It's always what used to just be on telly before like 6 o'clock as well.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And it could just like holidays, and people used to like get holidays, but there'd be no pictures. It'd just be like
text
7 nights in Tenerife. Yeah, and it'd be like that. And I remember when I lived in my first house, so I'd have been about 4. And my dad being like, "Oh, well, look on teletext," and then putting that on, and it just like you got to wait for the right page to come up.
Yeah, because
And
there was
it's
like
just
12, and you're like, ah.
Yeah. And then, this one didn't look so. This ain't too bad. And then it would go. You're like, oh wait, well we've got to wait for it to come back round again. And I just thought like, I remember that so clearly, but that's just not a thing anymore. And I think that you can still. There's a website and it's called like Teletext Travel, but when you go on that website, it's not like pixelated words. Like it's just like a normal travel website now. But I think that's so funny. Do you remember? Obviously, we're drinking beer and wine now this morning at 11:15. But when you was 16, or what was 16? Probably about 16. When you used to go to parties and stuff like that. Like what was or even like 18? What was the first alcohol you used to drink?
So if there's always that alcohol that you had when you were young,
Yeah.
and like you can't drink it anymore because you just got like smashed.
Yeah.
Mine was Strongbow Dark Fruits.
Oh really?
Classy. Yeah. I was like 15, maybe just 16, and I drank like I think it was like 12 cans or something, and I never really drank before, and I was absolutely wrecked, ruined, and I can't touch it. I haven't touched it since. I haven't touched it in the past. What is it, like 5-6 years? I've never gone near it.
I can't really go near rum again. I used to love rum, but I can't really do that because I threw up after rum.
Yeah.
It wasn't the rum that made me sick, it was the gin, which I don't like anyway, but I can't go near it. What about you, Declan?
Mine was vodka, but I can drink vodka again, and I actually prefer it over a lot of alcohols. So.
Yeah, I like vodka.
I would say I used to drink vodka a lot actually when I first started drinking, but apparently it makes me aggressive.
No,
not that you can imagine
no,
this cuddly.
No,
teddy
you
bear.
are just aggressive.
You shut your mouth, mate. I'll come over there and I'll knock your teeth in, boy.
Do you want to try it with a little?
Is that aggression? Is that how you do
Try
aggression?
it with a little less stuttering.
Look.
I'll knock your teeth out.
I'm just so angry.
I used to love Smirnoff Ices.
That absolutely does not surprise me.
Just a big Smirnoff Ice fan.
To be fair, they are quite nice.
They are quite nice. So, I mean, it's weird though, isn't it, when you get past a certain age, you don't drink that anymore.
Yeah,
no one's going into like
child.
into a pub. Yeah, exactly, and going, I'll have a blue wicket.
I had that in
no
my sippy cup.
Yeah. Oh, that explains. And then we was on about the phones as well in the episode in which we had the trends of phones, and we were trying to think of this phone phrase.
We forgot them, didn't we? Yeah.
It was Taco Light, wasn't it?
Taco Light. Taco Light's the one I had. You had LG Cookie.
LG Cookie, yeah. Well, I got the LG Cookie Light because I didn't want to pay for the LG Cookie.
Of course.
Yeah. And then everyone moved on to the Blackberries when I was on my LG Cookie Light, and then I was given my cousin's old Blackberry and I had it for about 4 days, and then left it at the park and it was stolen. And then they didn't have a phone for.
Was it stolen?
I think it was stolen.
You left it at the park.
Yeah, but
Finest keepers, mate.
I never left it. I think I was still at the park, but I left it there, and then they just.
Oh,
stole
okay.
It, yeah.
So you didn't just like nip home
No.
and then come back and like, I've been robbed.
Yeah, no.
Like, ooh, did you get robbed? I don't know.
And I didn't have a phone for about 7 years after that. Then. And do you remember Flappy Bird?
Yeah, mate. I was sick of Flappy Bird. 144 my high school.
And I remember when the bloke got rid of Flappy Bird, and then if you had it on your iPhone or whatever, people were selling iPhones with Flappy Bird on for like loads of money.
Yeah, they were. What's up with that then?
Why do you remember that?
Because there's a picture of it on Facebook.
Why?
I screenshot it. Because I was bragging. Declan, my thumb was in a cast. I was going to brag about it. I had an injury, mate. Sport. That's the only sport injury I've ever had. No.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me. That's how unathletic you
The
are.
only thing I've written for growing up is Cat in the Hat. Long time no see.
Oh, Cat in the Hat.
Dick talks about Cat in the Hat in this, and it might be the last time.
Yeah, it might have been the last time. I don't think you.
Because you used to talk about it all the time.
Yeah, because it's awful.
I think you mentioned it on the Christmas ones, and I was quite surprised that it came up because
Maybe.
you mentioned
I
the
think you
Grinch
said
or
to
something
him.
like that. Yeah.
I think you said to him actually, like, it's been a while.
All right, let's bring it back. I'll make it a regular occurrence.
I think this is the last time it was brought up, like,
properly.
I would say naturally. I don't think it was ever brought up naturally, but like without us prompting it.
Yeah. We can make your line of T-shirts, Deck, and it could just be like store in a cool dark place, and then just like Cat in the Hat, and then
You got a store in the Cool Dark Place T-shirt.
Yeah. So what are we drinking?
When we've got that one fan I was talking about.
Yeah. They can
You
have,
can have one.
I'll give it to him for free. Still in the Called Up place.
Oh yeah, I won't make him pay for it, mate.
No.
If you're out there, again, this is like, if you're listening to this, I'll give you £10 and I'll get you a top that says "Store in a Cool Dark Place."
To everyone, or the first person who's going to listen to it.
Just the first, just bloody hell, just the first person.
Who messages you saying the words?
Yeah.
Store in a Called
Email
Up
us.
place. Email us.
Email us.
any of
Guzzlr@gmail.com.
Right, so what we drinking,
Wait, hang on. Have we actually got any emails to that yet?
Spam, yeah, loads.
Of course, man. Yeah.
Loads, yeah, all the time.
Right, yes, so drinking.
Right. Yeah, mate. I'm doing it.
Go on, Alf. What are you drinking?
So we have a... Oh, of course he's got me to say it. Hitachino Nest beer. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's a white ale. And some of the tastes on the back here are a bit... Not really what I want, mate, to be honest. It says it's brewed with coriander, orange peel and nutmeg. I don't really like coriander, and definitely not in a beer. And it's bragging about mild acidity. Again, don't brag about
that. Just mild vinegar in this. It's Japanese, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, mate, it says on it imported Japanese beer.
Oh, that's right then. 5.5%. It comes in a little bottle. It's quite cool. I quite like it.
330ml.
I'll put a picture of this on our thing. And well, we'll talk about it at the end.
We'll talk about it at the end. But have we had a white ale before? I think we have, but I can't remember what it was called. I'm certain we've had a white ale.
Yeah, I think we have. I've decided if you don't want to pour it in a glass because there's... Is that bubbles or is that sediment?
Oh, I don't like sediment in my beers. I'm very fussy about sediment.
Yeah. Go on,
Deck, what you got?
So today I'm drinking a sparkling white. I was really pissed off. I didn't realise it was sparkling. It's by...
Do you like sparkling?
No, they're too sweet and they're not strong enough. Okay. So this is called Tradition by Claret de Die. I got it from Lidl. Apparently, I'm sure it's the highest rated thing they've got in Lidl in their new range. I think it came in at 93 again.
93%?
No, 93
Strong,
rating out of 100. It's only 7.5%. It's a very, very sweet sparkling wine. Like, normally Prosecco's and that are sweet anyway, but this knocks your socks off.
I'm wearing socks.
There is there's no description, but it says store in a cool duck place, and it's all right if you like sparkling wines. Go taste it. It's also organic, so that's another thing going for it. Yeah, give it a go if you like sparklings. If not, bun it.
Good
So
advice.
next episode was history, and this was the first one you weren't there, Dick.
Yeah, it was.
You couldn't make it to this one, so Niall stepped in for the episode. He's done quite well, and I think I realised the other day, well, after you realised, that he mentioned Vikings, and it came out the same week as Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yes. So the video did very well. It got a lot of views. But annoyingly, Louis forgot to mute the video audio. And so when he put the podcast audio over top, they're not synced. So if you watch the video, there's two audio tracks not in sync. And it sounds like the audio embodiment of AIDS. I don't know. It's
Is that
bad.
the whole episode?
It gets worse as you progress, somehow. I don't know how. But like the start's alright. The start's fine, I think. And to be fair, people never watch past the first minute, so it's probably not really an issue.
That's good.
But,
That's excellent.
Yeah, but it's got a lot
At
of views.
least on Spotify, it doesn't sound like that, so that's good.
You what, sorry?
And on Spotify, it won't sound like that, so that's excellent.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
So,
original, I'd argue.
so yeah, check us out on Spotify, not YouTube.
We'll do another history one because the history one's really good, and there's you can talk endlessly about history, so that's really good. And our second one we done again, Depney wasn't there for this one either. It was about small questions,
Yes. Oh, that's a banger.
and you're going to do that again soon.
Yes, if I can find any small questions. There's got to be loads of small questions. There's like, is cereal soup? You know, just fun stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is cereal soup?
Yeah,
I brought it up. I don't know what the definition of soup is.
I don't. I'd argue no.
I'd argue no. Cool, moving on. So yeah, I'm going to do another one. Just try and find any small questions I can. I was going to try and find like my favourite ones to ask Deck because Deck wasn't there, but I forgot. So
one that I remember was the first question you asked, and that was if you could combine any two animals to make the perfect animal, what would they be?
What would they be?
Snake and eel.
I mean, it feels like cheating.
Legless cod.
Mine was like a lion giraffe.
You and Niall had the same idea to combine a cat and a giraffe, but you combined different parts. So you thought you were agreeing, but you absolutely were not agreeing at all.
No. What I can't remember what.
Niall wanted like a cute giraffe. He wanted like a giraffe the size of a cat to have, whereas you imagined like a full-size giraffe with a lion's body just prowling the savannah.
Yeah. That was it. Because I was like, he's got the speed, he's got the aggression, but he's tall as well.
How is the long neck beneficial to that?
Because he
getting hard to reach places.
The other lions can't. Yeah.
But no.
I don't know what the problem is.
Giraffes have evolved, right?
Right.
Through natural selection. It's a famous one. They always use it at GCSE because they're lazy. So if the higher you can reach up with the branches, the more chance they had of survival, right?
Right.
Now, I'd argue that a lion's food is typically not that high.
But
now, I'm not
lions,
sure. I'm not 100%.
No, it is if you put it in a tree.
No, but listen, Louis. All right, Jesus Christ. You're saying they can reach the floor as well, all right?
Yes.
That's fine. I'm not arguing that, but that's not an evolutionary beneficiary thing, is they can also reach the floor. The other ones can do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're using logic on something that isn't really logical. You just said mix two animals, and then you tore it
to make
apart.
the best animal. What metric is this
Eel
the best animal?
and
That's
snake. Legless god.
That's just a snake.
But also, the episode's called Lion Pigeons.
Yeah, mate.
Why lion pigeon?
I don't know. You told me to put that in there. I said to you what should be called, and you said lion pigeons.
Did we talk about lion pigeons?
I'll find the quote if you want. We must have done. Yeah, I think we did.
Alright, well.
We must have done.
We spoke about how freshwater fish and saltwater fish are different.
That was actually a sick fact, yeah.
And how like the water goes in and out of the fish. But I
Actually,
thought fish surely are just waterproof.
I have a lesson on osmosis on Wednesday
That's a
with
good
Year
fact
9,
to use,
and
then.
I am
That's a
going to
good
bring
fact
that
to
up.
use.
I forgot about that. That's a really cool fact. You thought that fish are waterproof?
Yeah, I just think, why wouldn't you have a waterproof fish?
Because they need water to live.
They drink it.
Why? If you've got skin constantly in contact with water, and like osmosis is a natural process where like there's automatic movement, that's way more like beneficial than making them constantly slurp up as they like that is not beneficial. If you can have water just naturally move across the membrane when it's needed, that makes way more sense than them needing to slurp it up, right?
I suppose so.
And also, like, so their skin's only going to allow through the water part. It's like a natural filtration system. Whereas if they're just slurping it up, mate, then that doesn't sound like a good idea, does it? I feel like what I've learnt from this is Louis wouldn't be very good as God.
What I've learned is that they should probably
I mixed
make
eels
tents
and snakes.
out of fish skin.
You just
instead of
made a
tent
snake.
material.
No, it goes underwater.
They're
So
already
it's
underwater
actually just
snakes.
an eel.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right,
If
fair
I was
enough.
going to do
To be
it
fair,
properly, I'd go probably crocodile and armadillo. Or crocodile and turtle.
Why?
Well, crocodiles are... Actually, no, crocodile and bear. Ain't nothing getting near that. You're
That's terrifying.
dead.
I'll give you that.
I quite like
Yeah.
crocodile armadillo though. I feel like that's quite a nice
Yeah,
idea.
but it's not as aggressive as crocodile bear, is it? It's...
My other
So you just want the
point
most aggressive
Yeah,
animal.
but-
You want like a Wolverine honey
You
badger.
said,
then,
you
right?
said
'Cause they're
best. Like...
is Wolverine the same thing as a
Yeah.
honey
Yeah.
badger? Have I just mixed the
dunno.
same
yeah, they
animal?
are the same.
Probably.
No, they're not.
Okay, good. I
The
thought
thing
I'd
is,
absolutely shut the bed
in
on that
terms
one.
of like an evolutionary perspective, it's
Yeah,
going to be
mate.
unbeatable.
Yeah.
It's going to have skin like crocodile, and then just the strength of a bear. Bears can
Better than Louis' answers,
bite a bowling ball with their jaw. And
Would
crack
it-
a bowling ball with their jaw?
Do they do that?
Well,
They don't do it because you don't often get bowling balls around bears, but they could do.
Do you not? Brown bears? Brown bears in like mountains and shit, though.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
bowling
in bowling
balls
alleys.
aren't naturally occurring in mountains, are they?
Bowling ball. I thought you said boulder. I won't lie. I was very confused. That's why I was just like, why are they getting boulders? And just like,
so bowling alley
I
bowling
understand
alley
now.
clerks go on a pilgrimage every year to the Himalayas to find naturally occurring bowling balls.
it makes sense to me, mate.
It does, yeah.
Would your bear crocodile be cold blooded or warm blooded?
No blood.
Because you know crocodiles have to like bask in the sun to live.
It
They need to
would
heat
be
their
warm
blood up.
blooded.
I like the idea of these bears just like lounging in the sun. to heat up
Absolutely
their blood.
unkillable.
It's a terrifying image. Yeah,
Just
and they just know
chilling.
like, come on in, come get me, bitch. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
They've got one of them, you know, them reflecting mirrors. They've got one of them. They're just like
Get the tan,
living it
yeah.
up.
And we also spoke about why people in places. I can't think of some off the top of my head how they're called certain people. I'm murdering this.
So
Give me an example.
I said, I'll tell you what I said, and then we can move on from there. I said, how come people from Poland
That's it. They're called poles.
are called Poles, but people from Holland aren't called holes?
They're not. They're called Polish.
What?
Polish, yeah.
They're not called.
They're called Poles.
No,
aren't they?
they're called Polish.
You say, oh, look over there. There's a flock of Poles.
Never in my life said that.
At my side.
That's it all the time, mate.
So it's because Holland literally means woodland. So in Old English, the people referred to people who lived in the northern region of the Netherlands as coming from Holland because it was woodland. But over time, Holland just came to describe everyone in the Netherlands. But actually, the real term only applies to people in the coastal north of the Netherlands and the southern part of the Netherlands because they're the two woodland areas.
So we end up having a conversation about why we call it Holland at all, because it makes no sense, because it is the country's called the Netherlands. So and it turns out that Holland, it's not all Holland. Some of it's like there's different districts. I'd say districts, not fucking Hunger Games, but there's like different areas, and some fall into Holland and some aren't.
But the thing is, we call them.
But Amsterdam is in Holland. That's why the confusion. Because when we go there, it says a lot of stuff about Holland. That's because Amsterdam is in Holland.
The thing is,
but then when you get that place, which is like Holland's best chips, it's not that impressive, is it? When it's just talking about the two forest areas.
That is a good point, actually. Yeah.
the thing is, we don't call them Holland. We call them Dutch.
We do.
So now they've got three different names. It doesn't make sense. Why don't we just call them Hollandaise?
Dutch. Hollandaise.
Or holes. I liked holes.
Our next video was again, Dave, you wasn't there for this one, and we actually did save you some of this beer, but by now I reckon it's probably just vinegar.
I'll give it a go.
Because the lid
I'll
would
give
have
it
come
a
off.
go.
It was
It
called
tasted
snake venom.
horrible anyway. So.
No, it tasted so much better than strength by numbers.
No, it didn't.
Do you remember the percentage?
Yeah, hang on. It's 67.
Yeah. 67.5.
Not
However,
bad.
in the video, the title of the video still says 57.8.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I found that yesterday. I didn't even realise. Yeah, 67.5 deck, and this one was beer with alcohol added to it instead of like.
Oh
coming
yeah.
naturally. It was
it
tasted like vodka. It burnt.
The problem is, I'll be honest with you, mate. I love you, but it annoys me that you think the second beer was better. And if I could put you down, I would.
I really like vodka.
Jesus.
The first
also-
beer tasted like some sort of alcohol
Vinegar.
that had been put through a process similar to beer.
It did. Yeah. It tastes warm. Yeah.
That's the only
Excellent.
way I can describe it. Because I was going to say it tasted like a beer and it didn't, but it tasted like kind of like a beer-ish. It was a bit whiskey. It was a bit.
Yeah.
It had that essence. The second one was just like vodka. It was just a
It
spirit.
didn't taste anything like beer at all.
It was nothing like beer at all. It was just a spirit.
We also done this thing, which is where we had to try and identify 6 different beers. It was
It
Budweiser,
was so
Amstel,
bad.
Foster's, Carlin, something else, and it was
See,
awful.
yeah, but the thing
It turns
is,
out
with
we
them
don't know
beers,
anything about
they
it.
all taste the same.
Well, they're all lagers.
They're all awful.
yeah.
They're all piss awful beers that wife beaters drink.
We couldn't. I don't.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you, she's my girlfriend.
We also tried...
Girlfriend
100%
Vetus
chocolate.
just doesn't roll off the tongue as well, though.
Thank
does it?
you. Oh.
Right, and then that was the end of us filming in the same place together. After that, lockdown happened, and that was it. We couldn't do anything else, really. So we planned, well, for ages we just couldn't work out how we was going to record any podcast. We tried all these different ways, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And now, basically, to tell you what we do, we all record our own audio, I sync it together, and we're just on Facebook video call to each other. That's how we do it now.
Yeah.
But,
we initially tried the Anchor sort of auto sync record feature. Now, I love Anchor. It's allowed us to do this. It's a really easy way to upload, but Jesus Christ, that feature's awful. Because we were so out of sync, and it's always me, man. There's always you two having a perfectly civilized conversation, and then 5 minutes later, I just pop in with my point, like I've been sat here festering, stewing in my own brain for ages. And I'm just like, I'll weigh in once. I'm writing it out, thinking, how can I word this? And I look like an absolute mug.
The funniest thing about that
Absolute
is,
idiot.
in real time, you talk to us normally, and then the audio comes out, and you sound like an absolute spaz.
I look so slow. It's unreal.
Well, we recorded this episode, not this one that we're doing now, but the one I'm about to talk about, in that process, and it was when Disney just announced like a ton of things.
Mental, yeah.
And it was supposed to be an actual podcast. We recorded it as an actual podcast, but because it went wrong, we had to take back the last 20 minutes and make it into an extra, in which we just spoke about the Marvel things. But the original episode, we spoke about everything Disney, and it was a really, really good episode. We spoke about a ton of things. We spoke about like Always Sunny. We spoke about the new Pinocchio films and stuff. It was incredible. But we just went with the Marvel bit at the end. About Letitia Wright and stuff like that. So it became an extra instead, because it couldn't possibly be a podcast.
That was tragic, to be fair.
It was tragic because
it's the only time we've ever been some. It's the only time we've ever had something that is actually like unsalvageable. It was literally.
I don't know,
because we've had a few editing problems and stuff where. I mean, like the insects one you sent me the other day was a bit out of sync, but like because of our new process, we can sort that. Yeah. This was just.
There was that episode that you forgot to record when we were in the studio.
Metaphysics.
Oh, I don't remember that.
We remember it as metaphysics.
I don't think that was the thing. Yeah. To be fair though, hang on, I'm getting vilified for this. So I pressed record and then something stopped it working. It was probably a ghost or something. But Louis the other day had a technical issue of his own, and he never gets anything for it, mate.
All right, we recorded another one. Louis forgot to record.
And you know, it's okay for him because we're doing it remote, so it's easier for him to make an excuse because you saw me walk up to the phone and pretend to tap the button. Whereas Louis can make up anything. He might have not even he might have forgot to get his laptop out. He might have accidentally plugged his mic into a potato for all we know. We can't see him, so he can use any excuse.
And I just thought, oh crap, I need to say something.
We got to the end and he went, hang on, that's not my laptop, that's a potato. What do I tell the boys now?
You got me. It wasn't a potato though; it was a Swede. But I can see where you get like confused. But yeah.
Well, you know, I couldn't see it.
No. So this started our week of like Christmas things, and our next one was Deck's flat tour, which is an extra video, which you recorded about
2 months prior. At least. Yeah. My flat has changed since that video came out as well. I'd put loads of furnishings in it. Like it looked like a prison cell in the video, but it's all right now.
It's because we were like, when you made it, it was just when we was about to just like not be able to record anything anymore. So I was like, there's no point in bringing it out just in the middle or something. So we brought it out then, and it worked fine then. But it was a very funny video, and it's only about 2 minutes long. So
I'll be honest, Declan. I was worried that like you were going to make it a bit too long, and I was worried it was going to be
MTV
like
Cribs.
Yeah, not like I didn't worry, but I just thought it was going to be quite like long, and I didn't know what you were going to do. You smashed it, mate.
Cheers.
I actually really enjoy that video because it's so just like bam, 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 and then you're lying on a rug. I don't know what that's all about, but I loved it. It's good. It's really good. Yeah. It's really good.
Our next day, it was the Tuesday, I believe. We done another extra video, and it was the Christmas quiz. Now, all I remember from this is Deck won every single question.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't
Again,
surprise us.
These guys, man, I lag, and they really do use it to their advantage. I was so angry about that. Will Ferrell,
at some point,
I've won.
At some point, Deck said something like, who were Santa's reindeers, and you'd already said them all, Alfie, and Deck was like, I know, like Kevin, and I was like, cool, you've got it.
That was fun.
If there's one thing I know, it's Christmas.
We spoke about Christmas traditions in our actual normal Wednesday podcast. This was our first podcast for months, and there was a few traditions that we didn't actually talk about in it. Did either of you have stockings when you were younger?
Yeah, I love a stocking, mate.
No.
Love it. I always used to
Yeah,
get my
I love
mum's out the wardrobe and just sort of...
Yeah.
I've got fat legs, though, so...
Advent? What about Advent? Advent calendars?
I used to... there's nothing better than waking up Christmas Day, you run downstairs, you put your hand in your stocking, and you pull out the meat. I love that. You know what I mean? There's nothing better, is there, than getting your Christmas meats out your stocking? Yeah. Mum normally she used to leave it in there a week in the living room as well, so it was like, because I quite like my meat sweaty.
Smell.
Yeah. I like moisture on my meat.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Christmas Day is so good.
Advent calendars?
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't have one this year. It's the first year I've not had one.
Right, something really pisses me off about advent calendars. There's rarely ever a 25th door. It all ends on the 24th.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
What's the point?
Sometimes not.
What's the point of having it?
It's Christmas Day, innit?
Because it's the build up
So
to
give me my
Christmas.
Christmas
Wake up on
present,
Christmas
you
Day and
prick.
go, how many days
Don't
are
do
left?
the 24 days before the day I'm meant to get treated. Give me one on the 25th as well, you cheat.
Yeah, but it's Christmas. You get stuff on Christmas Day because it's Christmas Day, innit?
Yeah, so give me a treat as well.
Fair enough. You can get advent calendars with 25th on it. You just got to...
When we do my
Rarely,
episode
but
of the
sometimes
things
you-
I hate, I'm going to rant about advent calendars for at least 10 minutes.
I cannot wait to for Louis to edit that out. I'm looking forward to it.
You can sometimes get some that go up to like 30 as well. That's weird.
That's even worse.
See, now I'm
Christmas
angry.
has ended by midnight on the 25th. Give up.
What's the name of the time between Christmas and New Year? It's called
Oblivion.
Lent.
Twixmas. It's called Twixmas. That's the actual name of it, Twixmas.
Is it though?
No.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the actual name.
He's fallen very hard for some Twix marketing scheme.
Let's have a
Yeah,
look.
Twixmas.
Very hard.
Yeah. Do you think the Christmas message is like kind of strange? Do you think there should be more focus on the Christmas message?
No, absolutely
Why?
not.
Wait, what?
What is the Christmas message?
Well, the Christmas message. Well, I suppose you can have two ways of Christmas messages. Obviously, Christmas is the fact that like we celebrate Jesus and Mary and Joseph going to the stables to give birth to him. There's that message, and there's also a message of just like being around friends and family and like the love and care and stuff like that.
I don't think the Christmas message has gone anywhere personally. I think it's still very prevalent, and I like I like Christmas.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not religious, but I still really enjoy like nativity. I enjoy the nativity story.
Yeah, I do.
I'm a big fan. But like my thing of religion is always just that I'm not religious at all. But like as a story, I like it. I think it's interesting. I think it's a great story. So
I do think that it should be reminded of. I think that we all know the message quite well. I think that I don't know, but I think a lot of kids now who are like, so did he die at Christmas? Like, no, he was born.
But I think we were like that. I think there's just like because we're becoming adults now. I think you become detached from that. I don't think we can know for sure whether there is actually that sort of detachment or whether it is. You're right.
Yeah, sediment.
Do you know what I mean? Or whether it's getting diluted. But we're just adults, so maybe we just see it less.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, I like that, Alfie. Thank you for that. Our Thursday, which is Christmas Eve, we done a writer's room.
Oh, brilliant. Krampus 2.
Oh,
Krampus
God.
2. Now, Deck, you named this film.
Yeah.
I want to know why you called it Krampus 2.
Funny, isn't it?
It is funny, but I just wondered why 2.
Well, I thought about it, and I thought, how can this be any worse than it already is? And I thought, well, we can skip the first film, because it was obviously terrible. So we've made a worse film. Let's call it Krampus 2.
And I like that. And I think that's... my next question was, so there's not a prequel. It just goes straight to Krampus 2.
Yeah.
To be honest, I really like the idea of starting a franchise at 2 just because the first one's not worth seeing. I love that.
And then...
just don't worry about it. It happened, but don't worry about it. Honestly, it was...
the next one will be Krampus 4 because, you know...
Oh, 3 was a disaster, mate.
No.
3
We
was
didn't
awful.
make 3. Just We're making
Right.
4 instead because, funny.
I have since found out though that there is actually a Krampus 1.
There's not because we didn't make it.
No, we didn't make it. There is actually a Krampus 1. It's got Adam Scott and Tony Collette in it. There is actually a Krampus 1, which makes...
I think I've seen it.
Yeah, and do you know what the funny thing is about that film? It's actually worse than what we've made.
No, I'm hoping it's a lot better. So people go, "That's a fantastic film," and they go, "Oh,
Let's
Krampus
check out
2?"
Krampus 2.
And they watch it, and then you just got like Tony Collette sitting around, like, "There's why? Who made
Danny
this?
DeVito.
What's going on?" Yeah, exactly. And there's still big names in our film, which is mad. It reminds me of Bad Santa. Krampus 2 did. That's what it reminded me of. Right. So then our next episode, it was on New Year's Eve, I believe. It was World War III lockdown and Parasite.
Hang on.
Oh, go on.
What about Sweets,
Oh.
which we
Go
released
on.
on Christmas Day?
Go on then.
Approximately. So we released a video on our Instagram. We did an Insta Live when we were filming, yeah. And Deck's like, he shows the sweets and he says we're currently filming this. Now, when I look back at how long ago that was, it's mental. I messaged Louis. I can't remember how long it was. It was like 12 weeks or something between us filming Sweets and Sweets being... No, it was 4 months. It was 4 months between us filming Sweets and Sweets being released. Really? Yes. And do you know how many times Louis messaged me about Sweets in that period? Literally thousands.
The thing was that our first ranking video about crisps was one of the best days of my entire existence.
Was it?
I loved it. Yeah,
that's just because
fantastic.
crisps are just...
They're so good.
Lovely.
Now, Sweets...
Not when...
Oh, it's so bad.
I think we'd done the Sweets video first before we'd done anything else, I think. Because we knew that Nathan would come around later to do the beer thing. So we did that first. And it really started the morning off to an absolute disaster.
All I'm saying is...
Sweets are awful.
When I eventually get diagnosed with the diabetes I indefinitely have, I'm tracing it back to that video. That was the catalyst.
It was absolutely
when my
awful.
doctor says to me, "What do you think has set this off?" I'll just link him. Just watch this, mate.
Link me, G.
Right, so on New Year's Eve we had episode 20. It was World War III lockdown and Parasite. This was next major podcast. It was like where we'd found our feet with how we were doing it. And we pretty much covered everything in 2020. But there's a couple of things that we didn't mention. I just want to quickly mention now.
I mean, to be fair, it was a whole year, so I imagine we did miss some stuff out.
No.
Yes.
It was so perfectly detailed.
That I'm about to mention.
If you want to see the most comprehensive
2020
view
Roundup
of 2020,
go and watch that.
Go check it out.
Yeah. I think I'm going to start writing notes now, just for the next one, for 2021. Well, what we didn't speak about, is and I think as well, Declan, because obviously Mindful Monologue is linked with Guzzlr now. You mentioned the other day about how people don't reach out, and that in the first lockdown, there's a lot of things that we was looking forward to and things, when this one there's not. In the first lockdown, I think there was a lot of big characters. Yeah. We had Captain Tom, big character, people looked out for him. We had Joe Wicks, who was helping the country. Another one, we had the Tiger King. Yeah.
Shut up. Honestly.
They were all really big characters.
Don't live far away from me. I'm going to come give you a slap.
We haven't got any big characters in this lockdown, Declan. I do think that's a big problem. We didn't mention Captain Tom or anyone in the first.
But I think that I do completely agree with the characters thing, but I think that's just like representative of this lockdown in general.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. People just want out of this one. And the only other thing out of the whole of 2020 we didn't mention, the only other thing is, I was surprised to know this happened in 2020, because I thought this happened in about 2018. That's how long it felt. Gwyneth Paltrow's Vagina Candles.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that's 2020.
I burn one every night before bed.
One whole candle.
Did we talk about the fact that one of them caught fire and she's now getting sued?
No.
Right,
No. However, I would argue that a candle has to catch fire.
As in on Twitter, either this week or the week before, Gwyneth Paltrow was trending. I was like, all right. It turns out that a woman had brought one of her vaginal candles and it blew up. So now Gwyneth Paltrow is getting sued because her vagina candle exploded in someone's front room.
Exploded?
However,
it did something.
She didn't make the pan candle personally, did she?
That's quite the climax.
Yeah, she squeezed and got out of her.
Nice. moving on.
Actually, that could be
hang on.
We could get the vagina candle and light it for.
We could actually
on the podcast.
smell it.
How much is it?
I'll have a
I
look.
don't know. I think it's quite a bit of money.
Someone
but that'd be quite good.
message
We could
no.
Yeah.
He'll buy us one.
Episode 21. She's also done one which recently, about August time, in which it was smells like an orgasm.
Smells like an orgasm.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, mate, but
It's
episode 21.
$75.
It was.
Yeah.
They're probably not gonna buy it,
You boys can chip in.
We'll
do a whip ram.
Yeah, we'll get the GoFundMe page.
It's £67 for a candle that smells like vagina.
Maybe for an extra video, then we should just make our own vaginal candle.
I mean, we'll model it off your vagina.
I'll leave that down to you boys.
Episode 21 then, Snowden.
Yeah,
I think it's our best episode we've ever done.
That's alright, isn't it?
And I think it's got a lot of views as well. And I think this was due to the fact that about 2 days after the thing came out, or actually the day before it came out, actually, because of how we filmed it, it got 50 views an hour.
Right. I don't want to put you down, but a lot of views.
No,
It got 50.
views. Yeah.
I could literally count that on one hand. Yeah.
Mexico had offered political asylum to WikiLeaks founder Assange because it was shortly after the US requested to extradite him. He was rejected though by a UK judge on the grounds of his mental health.
See, I like the idea here that it seemed like a quite coincidence that like my girlfriend put on a film about Snowden, and then I messaged you like we should talk about it in the podcast, and then it turns out that all this was happening. Whereas realistically, my girlfriend's a very impressionable person, and she almost definitely just saw Snowden's name in the news, and then subliminally decided to watch the film. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it feels like a very coincidental set of events, but it's probably set off just by my girlfriend being the most impressionable person on planet Earth.
Good point. Our next extra was about creation and destruction. That was a really good 15-minute chat.
That was a really.
I enjoyed that
one.
Really
of the 15-minute ones we've done, which a lot of which have been questionable. That one was good.
Our next one, episode 22, was about the Brexit deal.
Yeah, mate.
Now, what I want to say to you is about the fact, because you was trying to say it was quite a good deal and stuff, but since then, and you've got a friend who lives in Ireland as well, since then, Ireland has been absolutely done over, haven't they? Their shops have been empty.
Yeah, Ireland aren't faring well. So basically, because of the stuff with the Good Friday Agreement and the weird place that Northern Ireland is in, the EU don't want to send as much to Ireland, just in case it makes it across the border into Northern Ireland and therefore the UK.
Right.
So some of the stuff like goods and services have been delayed, like Amazon Prime. You can't get anything in Ireland, right? In the 2 weeks following Brexit, they couldn't use Amazon Prime Video.
Awful, isn't it? And they're not even. They are just part of the EU. It's not even like they're linked to us anyway.
So the EU were kind of in a weird place where they were like, well, and then of course they about the vaccines, they tried to set off Article 16, which would put up a border between Ireland and the UK and get their way anyway, and everyone was like, what? Because they did it at like midnight, and they were like, hey, we're going to get the back end of them. And everyone knew it, and they were like, what are you doing? No, we're not, no.
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 That's a quote from Leo Valkadar.
There's another quick thing I want to mention. It's sort of about Brexit, not really about Brexit, but it's about the UK in general. And it's about the UK flag. I'm reading a book by a man called Tim Marshall, and it's about flags.
Cool, interesting.
It's very interesting. It is very interesting.
I hate flags.
And the Union Jack, people always say you can't call it Union Jack, it's the Union flag. The Jack is the flagpole. Actually, it can be called either.
I thought there was like it's only
Jack.
called one thing when it's at sea.
Yeah, that's not true, apparently. The idea is that the Jack is the pole, but because it can just be called either, because the idea is that the flag is.
You need to contact Russell T Davies, because I learnt that from Doctor Who. So the Idiot's Land, written by Mark Gatiss. You sort that out.
It's in the law that that can be called either. However, most countries have a law that their flag is their flag. There's no law in the UK that the Union Jack is our flag, and Boris could just step up tomorrow and be like, "I'm going to change it." He could just do that, but it says it costs too much money, and they'd be like just an uproar, so they wouldn't. But
It would be a power move, though.
It could be, yeah. But like places like American stuff, they can't do that. Their flag is their flag. But in England or the UK, not the England, sorry, but in the UK, he could step up tomorrow with with a drawing of like, I don't know, something that he's just done, like a stick man on a beach, and just be like, "This is our new flag." Like, he could just do that.
He could unite the nation, though. He could be like, "We're going to do a competition, lockdown competition, design the new flag of the UK."
Yeah, and that is how, when America got their 50 states, it was a competition to sort it out, and that's how that is.
There you go.
I just want to briefly go on a tangent from this, talking about sovereignty and all that sort of thing. Do you know how much power the Queen actually has over politics?
About 0.2%.
Doesn't she get the final say?
No. So in the House of Commons, there's a big golden stick on the table, isn't there? Right? Apparently, that's like a talking stick.
Right.
A bit more...
Well, they pass between them of like whose turn it is to speak?
Basically, whoever runs the country holds the stick. Right? So when they were having that big turmoil a couple of hundred years ago between the Queen at the time, or King, and the government, and they were kicking off at each other, the King at the time basically gave them the stick and said, "I give you this power. But if any point the Queen wants to take that power back, she can. All that she has to do is walk into the House of Commons, pick up the stick and leave." Right? That instantly takes every piece of governing power away from the government. I just think that's mad.
It's one of those weird things, though, isn't it?
She just
rocks up.
It's one of those things where, like... it is an amazing image, I admit. But, like... So if a government wants to form a coalition because they haven't achieved majority, they have to go to the Queen and ask. So, like... when Conservatives formed a coalition with DUP, they had to ask... But, like... Realistically, that is just like a formality thing, isn't it? Because the Queen isn't ever actually going to be like, "Nah, bruv, that ain't happening, G." Like,
because she has to stay out of politics.
They've chosen
the whole royal family has to stay out of
But if they wanted
politics.
to, say the government were failing like they are now, and she just went, "You know what, for this, I'm going to end the government and start anew." She could just walk into Parliament, pick up the stick, and go, "You're all fired. See you later."
But I think the reason they start politics is because, like, imagine if the Queen, like, just came on tonight and was like, "Boris is an arsehole, mate. Just don't follow him." Everyone would be like, "Oh, okay," and then they people would just stop caring about Boris, because she would have that.
But they only don't do that because of democracy.
Yeah, exactly. Two more things what you want to say, because this does link sort of like Brexit. So the flag, there is a right way up to do the flag. Okay, so the thick white strip above the red cross, the one nearest to the flagpole, should always be. The thick white strip should always be facing there. If it's upside down, it'd be a thin strip. Now, actually, in the war and stuff like that, they used to put the flag upside down if they needed help, because it would be like a secret code, and people used to go to them if they needed help. Now, when the UK went to Brussels about leaving the EU, the flag outside was hung upside down, and they're not sure if it was a mistake or if it was literally people
trolling them
who put it upside down because they were trying to say
Needed
the
help.
UK needs help. That's quite a cool one. And also, there's the law we have in the country is you can fly whatever flag you want outside your house, as long as it's make believe or we're part of it. So you could fly the EU flag outside your house. You can't anymore. You could fly outside your house, whatever. If we're part of any charities or any clubs, you can also fly outside your house, no problem. However, if you want to fly as part of a certain group that you don't know that we're not part of, you have to ask the government for special permission. So there is a group called the IABRM.
right.
Sounds enticing.
It's punishable to fly that flag. And that flag is the International Association for Bear Research and Management. If you fly that, you can get a massive hefty fine and even a prison sentence, because the UK is not part of the Bear Research and Management.
It's a bit weird, though, isn't it?
But it's about
if
bears.
you flew that, you're not allowed to.
Of all the things they could fine you for, bear research.
Yep. That's just an example, though.
What counts as flying the flag?
Hanging out your window.
Maybe outside.
But
outside
you see people all the time during like football and stuff who have like their flag hanging outside their window.
Yeah, I think
Like Estonia,
But-
or
but-
like,
but-
I don't know why I went with Estonia, but you know what I mean. Like they have their flag out their window.
yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't actually know. Not sure. And I can't actually imagine that like the council come around and fine it because they'd have to research your flag and find out why. But technically, you could.
I think we should write to the government and ask for permission to fly that bear, whatever freaking thing it was, flag, and then if we get permission, we'll fly it outside the studio because we've got written permission.
Right. Okay, let's do it. Fine. I'm happy with that. Let's do it.
I'll do it, mate. I'll do
Alright.
it. Don't
Okay,
challenge
fine.
me.
Alright.
Don't challenge me. I'll do it.
Let's
I will
do it,
do it.
let's
I'll do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Oh,
I've done it.
do it.
I've done it.
Our next one was an extra dose of good news. It was just like a 2-minute video we put on YouTube and on Instagram because everything was quite depressing at the time. We needed some good news, and it was good. And since then, we've tried to stay on good news, including our next episode, which was good news.
Good news.
Which we're going to do every 12 episodes.
Yes.
They've been quite good episodes, and we could do them every 12. We then started our Wonder Vision series,
Thanks, mate.
but it's Marvel Mondays, isn't it? Which is the
Marvel Mondays.
and that comes out.
Filming one of those in a minute.
And then episode 24 and 25 were about travel.
Yes.
We're probably going to do a third travel because there's always travel stories. And we're going to do one about Britain as well. There's one story that I didn't mention at all, and I should. And that is when we was in Borneo, when we was told to keep away from the centipedes and stuff because they were on the black legs, were poisonous, don't go near them. And I was on the beach on this island, Mantanani, and there's this centipede, big centipede. I'm not joking, it was longer than that bottle. It was a big centipede, and I thought,
It was
blimey,
large.
look at the size of that. And then I went and lay in this hammock quite a way away from the centipede, and I was just laying here reading this book, and I felt like something on my shoulder. I was like, oh, what's that? And I turned, this thing was crawling over my chest, and I threw myself off of this hammock. I got myself tangled up in the hammock. I was like running, screaming, just fell to the floor in front of this man. And then 2 people on our trip went and got the centipede. It was like, hanging off a stick that they'd killed. But I got like, cut all my chest open and stuff like that.
Honestly,
And
it
luckily
wasn't
they
as
said,
bad
oh,
as that.
it
wasn't. You didn't have your chest cut open.
It wasn't my chest. It was my wrist. To be fair, Dick, I actually still have a long scar on my arm, which doesn't tan whenever I get tan. It's long, that thick white scar on my arm. And then they said to me, they went, "Don't worry, it had orange legs, so it wasn't poisonous." And then he said, "If it had black legs, though, we'd have to get you off this island quick, wouldn't we?" And I'm literally having a panic attack, mate. I don't know if that's necessary.
It was quite a dramatic event, a bit needlessly, I'd argue.
No, it was absolutely terrifying. 'Cause I thought I was going to die.
The other travel story I told Louis this the other day, but that I forgot to mention was, again, when I was in Germany. Me and my girlfriend were on the Autobahn or whatever, the train, and this gentleman turned to us and he said, he's like, oh, excuse me, can you tell me where so-and-so is? And Lucy looked at him and went, what? And he was like, can you tell me where so-and-so is, please? And this guy, who very politely, in English, asked where something was, she said to him, I'm really sorry, but I don't speak German. And then our stop came and we got off the train. And I said to her, you know he was speaking English? And she went, was he?
Actually, this reminds me of Amsterdam. Do you remember that little?
Yeah, this is exactly what Louis said.
So...
Yeah, but the difference is that he was speaking directly to her and was asking, and then I had to sit there more embarrassed than anything.
I was very
ever.
embarrassed. I was like, I can't really weigh in here and be like, oh, by the way, he's speaking English. I was just like, I'll just stay out.
To explain this story,
My one.
This was funny. So all of us were in Amsterdam. I have tempted myself into, the local delicacies, and we'd got on the train to go back to where we were staying.
The holes.
Yeah, the holes. And where we sat down on the train, a hen party come in and sat almost with us, basically. And they were giggling and laughing and stuff like that. And Louis leans
They're being really noisy.
Louis
that's what
leans
they're doing.
across, bearing in mind he's directly in front of me, and goes, Deck, I think they like you. And then it clicked. So I leant back across and I went, Louis, you do know they speak English, right? And that was it.
And also, there was no whispering. There was no whispering at all. But after that, I was like, they're not speaking English. And I was just like, and I just kept saying, I wish they would be quiet. They're being really loud. Really loud. And you're like, they speak English. Like, they don't. They need to be quiet. They're being really loud. And yeah, apparently they spoke English. I still to this day, I don't think they spoke English.
They spoke English.
They were speaking
They-
English.
They were literally
To this
speaking
day,
English
I don't
to
think
us.
they were.
It's not just that they were speaking English at that time.
Our next extra video was Never Writer's Room. The best one we've done, in my opinion. It was Anvil, a princess story.
God.
I really enjoyed Anvil.
I really want someone when we get big to make to draw the animation for this because it was absolutely fantastic. I absolutely loved it.
I think it was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
It was brilliant.
Listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It was amazing, but I felt like it was brilliant. Episode 26 was insects, and this is the one which I plugged into potato.
I loved insects. Insects
and
it was good.
It was meant to be about all animals. It was about an hour long, but then we cut it down to insects, and it was half hour long. It was absolutely
Dampney
fantastic. Dampney Shirley. It was a brilliant episode. And I've got some other facts which I didn't mention. Do you know that fruit flies were the first living creature to go into space?
Yeah, I did actually.
I did. But I do have a degree in physics.
Ladybirds eat 5,000 insects in their life. And I thought...
In their life?
And I Googled, they only live for a year, so that's about 13 a day.
To be fair though, 13 a day doesn't feel like that much either, really.
Yeah, but ladybirds are tiny, though.
But then I guess that it's like spiders only eat like once a month or something crazy, so I guess they probably don't even eat that much, to be honest.
And that, Alfie, there is our first spider fact. So my next thing was that we didn't speak about for spiders at all, and you just said that.
Well, I feel like there's not really that many interesting facts about tarantulas. I watch a lot of tarantula videos, but I don't really know any, like... A cool thing, this isn't even like an intro, this is just saying about tarantulas. You know they shed quite often?
Yeah.
If you have a pet tarantula, you can't feed them in that period because their food could literally murder them. So, like, obviously you feed them crickets, but when they're shedding their skin, they are literally just like a little lump of just really delicate flesh. And if anything touches like their brain or anything like that, it will just die. So you can't feed them in that period because the cricket could just murder your tarantula. So, yeah, so you have to be really careful.
Yeah. And then last week we spoke about likes and dislikes. It's got a few more that I didn't mention. I really hate the fact when pistachios don't open.
That is
really
annoying,
annoys
to
me.
be fair, yeah. No matter how much you yell at it.
No, exactly. It doesn't open, does it?
Just don't open.
People who say that all beers taste the same. That annoys the hell out of me.
That is. I mean, although we did a lager taste test thing,
Yeah,
we didn't distinguish them at all. So
no. And finally, it annoys me when I can't connect to Wi-Fi in my own house, but it gives me the option to connect to everyone else's.
My Wi-Fi's been so bad recently. To be fair, it's been down for like 3 hours a day every day.
I've got city
I feel
Wi-Fi.
your pain.
Mine's really good.
Well, you know, that's the price of being alone.
Connect. And I can like connect to both next doors, people across the road. I'm sitting next to my router. Just let me do it. Yeah. And then more recently we've done WGNR, which comes out every Friday on Instagram, and that is our weekly good news roundup.
Yeah.
Named by Declan, in which we always talk about positive news.
Yeah,
So we should check that as well. So in this recap, we've had no Nathan at all, apart from the first episode. Nathan hasn't been seen.
Well. Oh well.
Just want to quick mention as well that next week we've got a podcast, an extra, in which we talk about good and bad films, and we're also going to watch the worst film known to man, which is The Room by Tommy Wiseau.
I thought it was Tommy Wiseau. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tom.
We're going to watch that. Yeah, so check that out.
And we've got a lot of other stuff coming out, maybe.
We've got a lot of other stuff. We're going to watch...
The logistics need sorting.
Yes. We're going to watch... I'll mention the fact we're going to watch the Disney films, and we're going to talk about them all.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
So I've never seen The Lion King or Aladdin. I feel like that's quite
atrocious, yeah.
An uncommon... Have you seen The Lion King, Declan?
Unfortunately.
Alright, fair enough. Well, there you go. Cool.
Now, beer.
Yes, mate.
Alfie.
I thought it was quite nice. I enjoyed it. But
It was quite nice.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking this bottom because it's got a lot of sediment in it, but it was...
I can't see a sediment,
really nice.
so I'm going to neck it.
Really, really fizzy. Really nice. I recommend it. Hitachino Nest White
Did
Ale.
it taste like coriander? I'll argue not.
No.
All of that for
No.
that. It has got like a herby taste, but
It
I
has
don't
got a heavy
think it's
taste.
got...
That's what I try to think. Well, I don't think it's coriander. Yeah, Declan?
I mean, if you like sweet wines, go for that. It's really, really sweet. It's just not for me. I don't like things that sweet. They're a bit too rich.
Excellent. So there we go. That was our recap video of our past... Was it 12 videos?
Not a clue, mate. Not a clue.
There we go. Do come back next week to watch our next video. Hope it's going to be fantastic. And I will be doing the WGNR this week as well. Come back on Monday for Marvel Mondays. And on Friday, we also have an extra video, which is another 15-minute chat. Cheers. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to this Guzzlr podcast.